Everyone has very busy schedules during the holiday season. I thought that this was important enough of an issue and an urgent enough of an issue that I thought it's important that the Greenpoint community come together and be organized about this and talk amongst ourselves to figure out what we want to do. I did not invite the Department of Homeless Services tonight. I was co-sponsoring this with State Senator Martin Malavey-Dallon. Simi Mangiolento has a representative here. But I did not invite DHS, nor did I invite Help USA, because we already know what their proposal is. We know what they want to do. They've explained this to us at the last community meeting over at Warsaw, and so I thought that it was more appropriate that we as a community have this opportunity to meet together. Without them, they're set on what they want to do, and unless we really organize or find a way to do something about this, they're intent on doing what they want to do. So I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I want to thank the Polish Slavic Center. I thank Andrew Kmitska for hosting this and for allowing us to come together here. Just as a basic overview, I'm going to talk a little bit about what the process has been so far. What Department of Homeless Services came together with Help USA, which is an organization that has multiple homeless shelters, not only in New York City but also in New Jersey, and I think in the Philadelphia or Boston area. So they go up and down the coast, and they're a reputable organization. I took a tour of one of their facilities, which was a women's assessment facility in East New York, and it seemed to be well run. Right? It was not. It had security, and it wasn't. It didn't seem like they did not know what they were doing. However, that facility is out in a very kind of sparsely populated area. It's not Greenpoint, and I have heard now from scores upon scores of people, hundreds of people that live in Greenpoint, and the vast majority of folks that I have heard from have been opposed to this proposal. And the reason that I hear most often is my reason for my opposition to this proposal is that, for one thing, number one, Greenpoint has more than its fair share of providing services that serve the rest of the city, but that they do not. And that's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. I mean, we have the largest wastewater treatment facility in the entire city of New York, 10 blocks from here, and it serves people from throughout. I mean, that serves people from throughout Brooklyn, and it comes. And you all know what it is that's coming through that treatment facility, but it's everybody's, right? And it's not from this neighborhood. I see Irene and Laura and Christine here who have made it an incredible effort over the last several decades to deal with that facility. We have wastewater, or we have transfer stations, we have trucking stations at a greater per capita than anywhere else in the city of New York here in Community District 1. That's what we have. Greenpoint has seemingly been for the past decades is the service center for the rest of the city. And what this proposal is it's an assessment center where People come in to an intake center anywhere in the 5 boroughs, and they will be bused into Greenpoint to this 200-bed assessment center, where for between 2 weeks and a month, they will be going through an assessment where Help USA and DHS would be figuring out where is the most appropriate place to place those people in permanent housing. But essentially what it is it's a big revolving door. People come in, if they're coming in, they have to get to the subway. Going from the Greenpoint Avenue G train over to 400 McGinnis means that's a 15-minute walk. People are going to be walking right through the neighborhood, going to this area that's remote, but in no way is it's going through the neighborhood. And there's no permanency to it. Nobody knows who these guys are going to be. They're not part of, broadly part of the community, and then they're going to be out. But there's not going to be very much accountability. Nobody knows who these guys are. So that brings me to my next point as to why I'm opposed to this project. And that's that I live on Morgan Avenue. My block association president is here. Every winter and every summer, all year round, we have homeless individuals here in Greenpoint, and this goes in all our parks. This is in McGorlick Park, this is in McCarran Park, this is at the end of Java Street, at the end of India Street. This is underneath the BQE, near where I live. We have chronic homeless people in our community. We have Rami, who's on my staff, started working on this issue with DHS and Common Ground before I took office, when he was with David Gaskey's office, and he's continuing to do that this whole past year, and he continues to do that. He's actually having a meeting tomorrow morning as part of the bi-monthly meetings. But we have this population, they're chronic inebriates or chronic public inebriates, which means that they have major substance abuse problems for the most part. They have language barrier problems. For the most part, they're Polish speaking. And because of an inability to communicate, an inability to really integrate into the neighborhood, mixed with a terrible substance abuse problem, which is in and of itself, it's a disease. These gentlemen, for the most part they're men, have an unbearable hurdles to cross to get back into a healthy lifestyle, a productive lifestyle. And we're not, this proposal would do absolutely nothing to address that problem. Zero. It would only maybe exacerbate the problem. It would do absolutely nothing to help this problem. I had suggested, going back in the earlier part of this year, in the spring, to the commissioner at the time of DHS, was a man named Robert Hess. He's since left the agency. He basically told me that if I could find a site to work with that population locally, he would make sure that DHS came through with the funding to do the services.